Take it to trial. Take it to trial. Welcome in, grab a seat, hit the like and subscribe. Sweet peas on the mic with that spicy little vibe. Got the courtroom streaming in the chat, going wild. We're debating heavy topics, but still laughing like a child. From objections to confessions to the judge's side. If it's justice and it's messy, we gon' talk about why. Every day's a new case, every moment's a ride. And when sweet peas in the building, we be learning with pride. Minds on deck, keep the room running smooth. Film free therapist, you know, keeping everyone in the groove. Right to with the facts, pretty brown girl with the sass. Marilia and Fowler keep the peace in the chat. But Jason walks in and the ladies collapse. Chocolate. Take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. Morning shows are sharp, afternoon is on fire. And we catch every moment that the court might inspire. From witnesses whispering, the lawyers trying to hard. You know Sweet Pea breaks it down like a legal tarot card. Chats cracking jokes, dropping theories on the fly. We're serious when it counts, but we still testify. Minds hold it down when the trolls try to play. If you write a line, court adjourned for the day. But when Jason logs in with that deep hello sound, the ladies in the chat, man, they all fall down. Take it, 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 take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet Peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. When the sun goes down and the cases get deep, after dark gets spicy, no secrets to keep. Taboo topics, big laugh, slap, happy crew. Sweet Pea says behave, but we never really do. It's opinions, confessions, stories untold, but we handle it with heart like the chat made a goal. Hey! Take it to trial, from day to night and every wild mile. Sweet Peas kneeling strong with her trademark style, and the fam in the chat always makes it worthwhile. Turn it up, show some love, hit the like on sight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, party people. Party people. What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, day 2. Our judge, she be on time, and I like it. I must say, I like it, I like it, I like it. Good afternoon, Merelda. What's up, Christian? Good morning. Hey, Film. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, hey, Amy. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope all is well. Oh man, that doesn't work. That's an early morning of stuff. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Make sure you check in and let us know how things go, honey bun. So we are into day 2 of our Mario Fernandez trial. Yesterday in trial, we got a lot yesterday. I don't know if y'all recall, but a lot. It was a lot of different things going on yesterday in regards to our boy Mario. You know, of course, the state did their opening statements. The defense did their opening statements. Did their statements in regards to Jared Bridegan's murder. You know, it wasn't just some random shooting, but it was a planned murder for hire, an ambush. And Mario Fernandez and Shayna Garner are allegedly behind it all. Our prosecutor, her name is Christina. Stifler, called it a targeted ambush, which if they are convicted of this, that's exactly what it was. Somebody deliberately placed a tire in the middle of a dark road, the darkest area in this area, guys, and made it where Jared didn't have any choice but to get out and actually move the tire. So, as y'all know, he was driving home on February 16th, 2022, after dropping off the twins. He got out the vehicle he had to stop, get out the vehicle to get this tire, and during that period of time, that's when Henry Tenen is what they allegedly say. And remember, he did confess to the redrum of Jared Bridegan, and then he came back and said, no, I didn't do it. So I don't think that's going to work. So he goes to trial in March. Shayna goes to trial next in a couple weeks. So the prosecutors laid out what the timeline was, how they did their investigation, how Henry Tenen, he actually received $10,000, two checks, one check for $2,000, one check for $3,000, and one check for $5,000. Talk about a Kickstarter fund. Now, if anybody know what Henry Tenen look like, he ain't kickstarting shit. Not one thing. He not kickstarting nothing. What he opening up? What he starting? Not one thing. So you could tell that was kind of like crap. He was getting evicted from the place that he was staying. So, of course, the defense is immediately attacking their theory. Attorney James Hill argued that Tenen actually performed work for Fernandez, maybe around the house, because Fernandez did own properties. He told the jurors that they'll see video of Tenen doing things such as yard work, tree work. So I guess that's how they're going to try to explain this stuff away, but I can't imagine him doing $10,000 worth of anything. The defense says the messages were essentially, paying Henry Tenen. So he was doing all these text messages during these months because he was paying Henry Tenen for yard work. Yeah, of course he the handyman, right? That does all things. But of course, according to the defense, is they cannot prove, the prosecution team that is, cannot prove that our boy Mario, that he actually solicited, like he actually paid him to do this. We did hear from our first witnesses yesterday after our opening statements, which was very, it was something else. We got to hear the 911 call of Janelle Cruz. She was one of the first witnesses on the scene, her and Sean. They actually pulled Jared's 2-year-old daughter out of the back seat and was comforting her during the time that the ambulance was on its way, and first responders. We also heard from the first officer that was on the scene. The major witness that I think that we heard from yesterday is that we heard from his wife. I don't know. I know she's a widow, but wife, So we heard from Christian Bridegan. She got up there on the stand and she explained how the relationship and the dynamics, as far as, date night, the custody arrangements, the relationship between Shayna, Mario, and their relationship. A lot of things in regards to them being Mormon and the children. I believe it was AB that wanted to be baptized. She explained about their blended family, according to Christian, there was no trust. So the communication was all kept in writing and text message and email. So everybody wanted everything documented. Even in situations where they were together, it was very uncomfortable. And she said Jared would become quiet and very withdrawn because he probably just didn't want to be dealing with Shayna, right? She walked the jury through the night when Jared was redrummed. She stated that she had the kids. She was at home with her parents, with the youngest baby. He did take the 2-year-old with her because they just had a baby in October. So they pretty much have a newborn. She said that she had recently stopped working because, of course, they can afford it, and yeah, and she wanted to stay home and be a mom. So during that period of time, she said she talked to Jared. He said that he was on his way home. And she, it started getting later and later and later. And of course, she was calling and her husband was not answering the phone. So she finally got in her car with her mom, and they took the route that Jared would take to get home. You can see, we saw yesterday surveillance of their Suburban, I guess we should say, their Suburban, kind of like turning the corner. So we see when she actually enters that kind of area of the Jackson Beach Police Department. Into that area where he was at. So day one did end with the medical examiner testifying. Like, we got the ME yesterday. So guys, if you missed any of yesterday, please make sure you go back, and if you are interested in any of those details, go back and look at it. It's on the page. And he just basically got up and testified that Jared died of gunshot wounds, that his manner of death was homicide. What I think we need to just remember when we go into day two, day one just establishes 3 separate lanes for this trial. We got the murder itself, right? We got the motive and / the relationships, and we got the Mario connection in. What I did notice is that Christian, when she testified, she was like, as soon as she found out that her husband was murdered, she pointed the finger right to Mario and Shannon. There was nobody else that would want to do this. Not without the help of them or conspiring to them. Hey, country girl, welcome on in. So what we're going to do, without further ado notice, I am going to get us into the courtroom so we can get started with our live feed for today. Our judge, London Kite, she is definitely on time, always on time, but like it. I like it. We will run the same type of show like we did yesterday, take a break, go over and do our Tupac case, and then we'll come back to this one in the afternoon after all is said and done. Let me get us over here. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. All right, good morning. Is there anything that we need to take up prior to bringing in the jury?
I spoke to Mr. Dreiser this morning. I have 2 maps to enter into evidence. 8Z coming in as states 209, Mr. Hathaway?
It should be 208, I think.
208. And then 9A coming in as states 209. And they're just Google Maps.
They're both maps?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And we have no objection, but let me hand that over.
Okay. So that'll be without objection. I believe that's 8Z and then 9A. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. will be 208 and 209. Is there anything from the defense? No. All right, thank you. Let's bring in the jury, please. All right, thank you. Good morning. All right, welcome in, members of the jury. Everyone may be seated. All right, good morning. This is the second day of the trial. Just to remind you where we are procedurally, the state of Florida is presenting their case, and so I turn to them now to call their next witness.
Shane Jarman, Detective Jarman.
While the witness is coming forward, members of the jury, if you could answer out loud, did everyone follow the communication rules? Yes. Thank you. Good morning. All right, sir, if you please raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Detective, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, this way, sir. All right, you may proceed.
And please the court. Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Shane Jarman. I'm a police officer with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department.
How long have you been so employed?
I've been employed with them for 8.5 years.
Give the jury an idea of your experience and background that allows you to be a police officer in Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Well, first, I was a police officer in the state of West Virginia for 7 years. And in Jacksonville Beach, I've been there for 8.5 years. I'm a patrol officer, a field training officer, defense tactics instructor, a crime scene investigator, as well as a taser instructor, drone pilot.
So I'm going to spend most of your time talking about your crime scene investigator. Is that also known as an evidence technician?
Yes, sir.
Explain to the jury what training you have that allows you to perform those functions.
So in order to become an evidence technician, you have to first express an interest in the evidence technician field. Then you attend a crime scene processing workshop, a digital photography workshop. Then you shadow the current crime scene investigators, evidence technicians for a while in order to get a good foothold. And then after that, you are released on your own in order to start processing scenes.
So is there a television program that's very popular called CSI?
There is, yes, sir.
Does that stand for Crime Scene Investigation?
It does.
How do your duties differ from those of your TV counterparts?
Massively so. They dramatize everything on TV, as you all know, and realistically, it takes forever to process a scene. It's not just within a 10-15 minute window. It takes a long time.
And do you do the testing yourself?
I do not do the testing myself. I just collect and preserve the evidence, and it's sent out for testing.
So in the TV show, so I think sometimes the one time I've watched it, the crime scene investigators actually solve the crime and interview witnesses and do things like that?
I do not interview any witnesses. I don't do anything on the forefront. All of my job is related back on the actual pieces of physical evidence.
So when you get to a particular scene, just generally speaking, has the scene already been evaluated by detectives and first responders as to what potentially you should collect?
Yes.
Try as best you can to explain to the jury how you go about conceptualizing the processing of a scene and what you target as potentially probative forensic evidence.
So once the scene is secured, we walk through with the detectives. We try to imagine how this occurred. We try our best not to, of course, disturb any evidence. We preserve as much as we possibly can. And once we figure out how we think it happened, we look for things out of the ordinary. And those things that stick out to us, those are marked as evidence, and we do try to collect those.
I'll give you an example just to give the jury an idea that you can't collect everything. If you were working, let's say, a home invasion robbery where the victims indicate they were robbed in their home, would you go and collect their toothbrush or things from their medicine cabinet as potentially forensically relevant?
No, sir. If it's something that looks like it belongs there, and we can say with almost absolute certainty that it belongs there, we do not collect it.
When you're talking about processing a scene in Jacksonville Beach on a street, like in this particular case, are you able to collect Sanctuary Boulevard and take it back to the police station?
As much as we would like to preserve it in its entirety, we cannot do that.
Explain to the jury why photography is so important for what you do.
Well, the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, it's 100% true when it comes to photography. It preserves the scene as it is. I can sit here all day long and describe those scenes to you, but when you look at a picture, that tells you the whole story right there.
And in this particular case, you were the, I guess, lead evidence technician on February 16th of 2022?
That is correct.
You processed the murder scene of Jared Bridegan?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. And then are you working with your fellow detectives to try to determine what and how to collect things?
Yes, sir.
The jury already knows that this was a very dark scene. Did you take a video, use a video camera, I guess? It's not like a camcorder, right?
It's not a camcorder. It's our basic Nikon camera. It does have a video setting on there, and I use that.
We used to use video cameras. Now. Okay. So the first thing we're going to show is what's been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 3. You should be able to see it on your screen. The jury knows how dark it is. The light that we see before we actually play the video, is that going to be flashlights that you or your fellow officers are holding?
That is correct. That's going to be the flashlights to for the two officers next to me that were walking the scene with me.
And why do a video in addition to photographs?
Video also shows you a first-person view of the incident. I can show you a bunch of pictures, and as great as it is, seeing video live, it kind of plays it more better for everybody to fully understand what we're looking at.
Okay, we're going to play State's Exhibit 3. If there's something that you need to jump in and explain, feel free to do so.
Sir.
Officer Jarman, I guess the focus is
Yes, sir.
user error.
It was, yes, sir.
As we look out there, is that going towards Butler Boulevard?
It's going towards Sanctuary Parkway, which leads on to JTB.
Is that a detective's car?
Yes, sir.
Now, at this point, when you get to the scene, it looks like it's actually drizzling a little bit.
It is, yes, sir.
Does that play a role in your ability to collect evidence? Potentially.
Potentially, yes, sir.
And that drizzle was very light. It wasn't a heavy rain.
No, sir.
And is that a shell casing we're looking at?
Yes, sir.
Another potential shell casing?
Yes, sir.
Are those little pieces of paper things that you have put down or your fellow officers to mark those shell casings?
Yes, sir. My fellow officers put those down.
And we'll see them marked with yellow placards later.
Yes, sir.
Now you're walking northbound
Yes, sir.
on the southbound lane.
Yes, sir.
Back to where you started.
Yes, sir.
That's enough. And since we've seen the video, we're going to kind of race through these photographs just so the jury has an orientation and the record is clear as to what's been introduced. But we looked at State's Exhibit number 4 here. Is that going to be from the northbound lane photographed onto the southbound lane with the victim's vehicle?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 5 is going to be on that northbound lane, but further south towards JTB.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 6, you're on the southbound lane looking at the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 7, you're on the southbound lane looking at the vehicle from behind.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 8, obviously it's much lighter with this. Are you using your flash to be able to lighten this area up?
Using a flash as well as we have crime scene lights that we do bring out in order to light the scene up a little bit better.
Okay, so you have your flash and a separate like spotlight. Kind of.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 9, we see the tire and the body.
Yes, sir.
Right, just for the record. State's Exhibit 10 is from behind the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Just say yes. We're going through them fast, but I want the record to be clear as to what's in evidence. So even though we see, is this a picture in State's Exhibit 11 of the covered body?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 12, another picture of the covered body?
Yes.
Do we also see those placards 3 and 4 that indicate potential pieces of evidence?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 13, have we uncovered the body and then see those placards 3 and 4?
Yes.
And do we see evidence of medical resuscitation attempts done by rescue on the victim's body?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 14 is at the victim's flip-flop.
It is.
And that's going to be marked by placard 6. Placard 6, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. So then we also see some pink chalk. Is that so you can do laser measurements later?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 15, is this the shell casing marked by evidence placard 1?
Yes.
State's Exhibit, did I say 15, 16? You can say,
Yes.
I shouldn't lead you every time.
I said yes. It's shell casing for placard number 2.
State's Exhibit 17,
Yes.
it is what?
It is a shell casing marked by evidence placard 3.
State's Exhibit 4,
The shell casing.
I'm sorry, evidence placard 4 is State's Exhibit 18.
It is a shell casing marked by evidence placard number 4.
State's Exhibit 19, is that another picture of that flip-flop?
It is.
State's Exhibit 20 is a picture of the victim.
It is.
State's Exhibit 21 is a picture of the lower half of the victim with evidence placard 4 and 7.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 22, close-up of the victim's face.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 23 is to show the left shoulder of the victim.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 24, the shirt has been removed or lifted up from the victim to show the entry wounds.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 25 is to show the victim's left hand.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 26 to show his left hand.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 27, the victim has been rolled over on his front to show the back of his head.
Yes.
28, the victim is rolled over to show the back.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 29, do we see a placard number 9?
Yes.
Now, in later photographs, we'll see that the pockets were turned out. Was that done by evidence technicians?
No, it was not.
Excuse me, medical examiners.
Yes. Medical examiners are the ones who enter the pockets. We do not.
But when you got to the scene, the pockets were not turned out,
That is correct. They were in.
as depicted in States 29. And then we have placard number 9. Is that going to be a spent projectile?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 30, is that a close-up of that projectile?
It is.
State's Exhibit 31, is this another view looking southbound on Sanctuary?
It is.
State's Exhibit 32, is this going to be evidence placard 5, which is the tire?
It is.
And then a close-up of State's 33 of that tire?
It is.
State's 34 is going to be the victim's vehicle with the driver's door open.
Yes.
State's 35 is a view of the victim's vehicle of the back seat
It is.
and the car seat.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 36 is inside the victim's vehicle. And do we see 2 particular pieces of evidence, actually 3. One is a Frosty cup from Wendy's, and then apparent blood and an apparent bullet stripe.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 37 are close-ups of those inside the victim's vehicle.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 38, do we also see blood droplets in the driver's side door of the victim's vehicle?
Yes.
State's 39 is going to be the passenger vehicle that apparently was struck by a bullet.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 40, do we see a bullet strike there?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 41. Now, we notice the difference between 40, which is at the scene, and 41, which is apparently at some garage. How did the vehicle get there?
It was towed by one of the wreckers on rotation on that night and escorted by Property Officer Choate to the secured property room.
So why do you further process the vehicle away from the scene?
We wanted to wait till the next day in order to see everything possible, as well as we were tired. We were like, let's take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather, and then come back. And we processed it there in our back lot.
Do you make sure that the car is secure, the vehicle is secure during this process?
Yes, sir.
So State's Exhibit 41 is showing that you're beginning the processing at your lot in Jacksonville Beach.
That is correct.
State's Exhibit 42, I guess we've already semi-seen this because we see the blood on the, near the gear shift.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 43, are we starting to see bullet strikes?
Those are blood spots, yes, sir.
Excuse me, blood spots. You can see that with these little white placards that indicate that's where you're seeing blood. Is that correct?
That is correct.
State's Exhibit 44, so it says BS4, that's going to be blood spot 4.
That is correct.
Now we see the jury can differentiate between the blood spots, which say BS, and then the placard that says 1 is going to be a bullet defect.
Yes.
And that's inside the victim's vehicle.
Yes.
State's 45. State's 46 is again a bullet defect with the shattered passenger window.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 47 is bullet strike 2.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 48 is, I guess you have taken out part of the door to show that bullet strike.
Yes.
And why did you take out the door? You're looking for the actual projectile?
That is correct.
State's Exhibit 49, and another shot of the door taken, the inside paneling of the door taken off so we can see the bullet defect?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 50, what'd you find?
We found a projectile inside the actual door, on the very bottom of the door.
State's Exhibit 51, is that a photograph of that?
It is.
State's Exhibit 52, placard 10 we were looking at there.
It is a projectile that was found when I was trying to open the glove box up. It just fell straight out.
So it wasn't there until you opened the glove box.
That is correct.
So it kind of fell. Does that correspond generally from that first bullet where it said number 1?
Yes.
And just visually speaking, does placard 10 and State's Exhibit 52 generally look like the same projectile found underneath the victim's body at the scene?
It does.
State's Exhibit 53, do we see that corresponding bullet defect near the glove box?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 54 is another shot of placard 10.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 55 is a close-up of that projectile.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 56, is this the tire that you recovered from the scene?
It is.
State's Exhibit 57, another photograph of that tire.
Yes.
So we have a couple things to show you. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? The first, and I guess most interesting, is going to be State's Exhibit 90. May the witness step down.
Sure.
He can,
Officer, if you would, there's a microphone there, this clip to that.
we can share too, Your Honor. I'm very familiar with the microphone.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
I got it. I enjoyed that wrestling. So I want to show the jury, this is State's Exhibit 90. Yeah, if you could stay there, I'll stay here.
Officer, go ahead and clip it on your, give him a moment.
Can you hear me? It's good? We're good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Now
Yes,
clip it on your belt. There you go.
You've done it your whole life. Good job. All right, so State's Exhibit 90, is this the tire that you recovered from the scene?
Yes, sir.
Explain to the jury how you went about processing this tire.
So once it was recovered at the scene, it was transported to the station by Officer Choate, Property Officer Choate. The next day, I came in, unpackaged it, unsealed it, and I took photographs of the front side here. And when it came to processing the tire for possible DNA evidence, per our policy, I wore gloves as well as using sterilized water. And to make sure there's no further cross-contamination, we also go an extra step. We put on 2 pairs of gloves between each and every swab. So I went through almost a half a box of gloves just to process this tire.
And when you say process it to look for DNA, we see in State's Exhibit 92, it looks like a Q-tip. Explain to the jury how you use State's Exhibit 92 to process for DNA.
So first things first, once I have labeled the package the way I want it to be for whichever piece of evidence that I'm processing, I open with the package up wearing double latex gloves. I pull the Q-tip out. I put on some sterilized water from a sterile tube. I put it on the tip of the Q-tip, and I process whatever I want to process. In this case here, it was clean areas on the tire that seemed out of place for a dirty tire.
And State's Exhibit 92 is going to be from the inside of the tire, which is going to be the part of the metal that's facing the jury right now.
Yes.
And so you essentially take a Q-tip and just rub it around.
I just swab the heck out of it. I don't know if there's anything there or not. This is just in case there is something, especially since it's a clean area. When I see a dirty tire and I see a clean area, it means something has touched it. Something has transferred something either to it or away from it.
Did you also go about processing, I'll just turn it around like this, because we have what it's referred to as the valve stem. Was that an area that you thought maybe someone had touched?
Yes, the valve stem cover, the cap itself. If anybody's filled up a tire in their life, they know that they take the cap off and you're going to be touching it, as well as the valve stem itself.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can just leave it on.
Is it all good?
Just remember to take it off when you.
Yes, yeah.
One thing I did not ask you about the processing of the vehicle is one of the things that you looked for on the victim's Volkswagen Atlas, that there was a potential tracking device on that vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And how did you go about searching for a tracking device?
So, first things first, I took our tablet that we use for the Oscar device, as well as for our laser mapping. I turned on the Wi-Fi signal to see if there's anything that was pinging towards the Wi-Fi. I also turned on the Bluetooth to see if there's anything like an Apple AirTag, anything of that nature that will give off a signal. I then also downloaded a tracker app, for a scanner app, that would actually detect possible trackers.
And were there any trackers that were placed on the vehicle?
No, sir, not that I was able to find.
And was there an Apple AirTag that was on the victim's keys?
There was, yes.
And well, that's okay, I already asked that. That's, Ms. Stifler, anything else? That's all the questions I have here.
All right, thank you. Cross-examination.
Did you need any pictures, Mr. Dresser?
Thank you for offering. I don't think so. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
So just real simply put, you spent a lot of time collecting evidence in this case. Is that?
Yes, sir.
And you did so carefully?
Yes, sir.
And you did so that you could help all of the officers in your department, including the detectives, figure out who committed this murder, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the idea when you collect DNA is that you do it carefully.
Yes, sir.
And you do it in places where you can hope to connect that piece of evidence to a particular person.
Yes, sir.
So that later, and in this case, the jury may be able to hear that somebody's DNA was found on that tire.
Yes, sir.
And that somebody may be connected to all the other evidence that you collected.
Yes, sir.
That's the whole idea, right?
Yes, sir.
And you did that with all of your training and experience to make sure that the detectives in this case could solve this crime.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any further questions for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dreiser. Any follow-up? All right, may the witness be excused.
The witness is excused for now, subject to recall.
All right, officer, do you know what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step down, stay in touch with the attorney. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state will call its next witness.
The state calls Corporal Brian Wallace.
Corporal Brian Wallace, please. Good morning, Corporal. If you can walk all the way forward.
Your Honor, we're doing a little computer transfer, so we may need a minute or two.
Sure. Wait. Stand here. Raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Corporal, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, sir, if you make your way to the witness stand. While the attorneys are getting everything situated, make sure that if you turn towards the monitor that you keep the microphone near you. Yes, okay? Make yourself comfortable.
I know how to do it. Just like you.
Good morning, Corporal.
Good morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to our jurors?
I'm Brian Wallace. I'm currently the traffic sergeant with Jacksonville Beach Police
And how long have you been with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department?
for 15 years.
And during your time there, what positions have you held?
Started off July 11th, 2011 patrol, and then I spent about 2 years on patrol, went to the Downtown Cape unit. It's the community assisted policing effort, basically downtown bar unit. Was there for about 5 years and then went to the Special Investigations Unit in 2018, 2019, where I spent about 5 years there. And then in April of 2022, I got promoted to sergeant, and now I manage the traffic unit at Jax Beach Police.
And I want to ask you a few questions about February 16th, 2022, and your involvement in the investigation into the murder of Jared Bridegan.
Sure.
Did you participate in the investigation in the capacity of collecting and putting into property surveillance, ring camera, home surveillance camera videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you respond to Sanctuary Boulevard South on February 16th, 2022?
I did not on the 16th.
When did you become involved with the investigation?
The very next day, February 17th, 2022, about 8 o'clock, we had a briefing in the morning. And I was in Special Investigations at the time, and we were in charge of canvassing the area around the shooting scene. And we all had blocks of areas where we would go canvass, knock on doors, try and find surveillance and things like that. And so that was my responsibility for a better part of the next month.
Okay. Could you give us an estimate, if you know, how many houses do you think yourself and members of Jacksonville Beach went to looking for surveillance or eyewitnesses?
Hundreds. Couple hundred-ish. Myself knocking on doors, maybe 50, 60, something like that. And
some neighborhoods in Jacksonville, when police knock on doors, people aren't all that excited to answer. Did you have any difficulties with people in this area being cooperative with your investigation?
I would say most people were pretty cooperative. There's some that, didn't really want to come to the door. They might talk to you through a screen, or they, open the door and kind of are apprehensive, not really sure why you're there. But once you tell them who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and kind of a little bit about what's going on, they're usually pretty helpful.
How did you decide what houses that you were going to go to and see if they had surveillance?
That was started kind of at the 8 o'clock briefing on the 17th, and I don't know if quadrants is the right word, but just kind of areas of responsibility that I was responsible for, and other members of Special Investigations. And so we started at the homicide scene, and then we kind of worked out from there. It was determined that we would kind of start at the scene and then work all the way up to the last known location. And so where I started was, I think it's 4089 America or 4098, one of the two. And that's at the very end of America. And abuts up right to JTB.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's been marked and entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 209. And do you recognize this area?
That's Jacksonville Beach.
And this is a Google map of the area. Can you show us kind of indicating, you can mark on your finger, like touch screen, where you began, where the homicide scene is and where you began canvassing?
Sorry. This little circle right here is the incident scene, and kind of this little stretch of area is America. And right where this X is kind of 4089 America, and that was the first house that I went to. And then after that, for the first day, I do believe it was in kind of this area, this Ocean Terrace, Grande Boulevard, Jacksonville Drive, other portions of America. And then, through the next several days and weeks, we kind of moved north on America, hit, houses on pretty much each side, kept on going up through America. Do you want me to keep going? Or just stop there? Okay. Yeah, then we...
No, I want the jury to get an idea of the geographic area you covered.
Sure. Sorry, this is the kind of the homicide location. And then we went up through America and did a few houses on Evans Drive. There's actually like a West Wind, which is this, and East Wind. We did some houses on West Wind Drive, and then kept on going. Hit Seabreeze, which is this location right here, and then now we're getting into Fairway Lane, and go up through Fairway Lane, and then it turns into 15th Street at this location, and then there's a kind of a northern portion of the map. But
I have another portion of a map I'll show you in a moment.
Sure.
On February 17th, did you or the team with Jacksonville Beach Police have any information as to a suspect description or a vehicle description? How is it that you chose this route?
I think it was just investigative effort. You know, you start at the X, right? You start where the incident happened and you kind of work up from there. And you're trying to find some type of evidence, video of, you know, was this captured on someone's home surveillance system? And so it would make sense to start in the America Avenue because it is a pretty wooded area, right? I mean, on this location right here is woods. And then there are some houses on America. And then there's a few on, that's Sanctuary Way North, and then you get into Sanctuary, but it is pretty wooded, except for that area on America Avenue, 40, 67, 89, 73 houses right there.
You're following a route of what appears to be kind of, for this area at least, some of the thoroughfare streets that someone would drive. Was that intentional? Can you explain to the jury the thought process behind that?
I'm sorry, you're saying going from, like, the thought process of this route?
Yes.
Yeah, last known location, right? So he dropped off kids at the residence, which is on Marsh Inlet. It's a northern location of this map.
I'm going to show it to you right
Sure.
now. I'm going to show you states 2 and
Yeah,
8.
okay.
And from the bottom of this map, is that the
Yeah,
end of where we left off previously? So we see Fairway Lane here that you had circled previously.
that's correct. So Fairway Lane, then we go up, Fairway turns into 15th, it's kind of one and the same. And then we go up, and then right here, we're at Marsh Inlet, last known location.
Okay, and this pin here indicates the residence that you all had information was the last place Mr. Bridegan had been seen.
That is correct,
And that would be 1511 Marsh Inlet Court.
correct.
In this area, where else did you canvass for video surveillance?
There's a golf course right here, so this is kind of out. A few, I don't think any houses on Marsh side went, and again, this is kind of a group effort, right? This is not all just me. There's several detectives that are doing this canvassing. And then there's some detectives did on Marsh Inlet, I think a few houses on 15th, but we tried to hit the majority, if not all of the houses on that route.
Did you gather any surveillance? Obviously, this is the golf course. Did you gather any surveillance from Cradle Creek Preserve, from Shutter Avenue, or any of these areas?
So eventually, yes, at the police department, which is kind of right here, we have some surveillance that we were able to pick up. This is Discovery School right here. Their cameras this is later in the investigation, found out that their cameras were not working. And then there were nothing here in the golf course. Cradle Creek's cameras were down from a previous tropical storm. I think a tree hit the pole or power outage or whatnot, and they were not operational at the time. On this route, specifically, there's one house, I think it's 25 Fairway, where we were able to get some video eventually in the case, and I think that's kind of the first one where we were able to use that for, I guess, not the first video that we obtained, but one of the ones that we used.
And we're going to show the jury a video compilation in a moment that you've previously seen before today, correct?
Correct.
The video they're going to see, you mentioned that this house on Fairway Lane is kind of in this particular area, one of the few cameras you were able to get surveillance of the victim's vehicle and what would eventually be identified as a suspect vehicle. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you mentioned that there were no working cameras here at Cradle Creek.
That's correct.
No working cameras here at the Discovery School.
That's correct.
And eventually, did you obtain some video surveillance footage from this apartment complex?
Yes, we did. That's, I believe, 1712 Pablo Hamlet. This is a assisted living facility. We were able to get some video from Pablo Hamlet. And then if you go even further north of this and kind of go a little bit west, we also obtained video from 1712 Beach, which is Taco Lu. They had some exterior surveillance that was also working. So as far as up north here, if you kind of like look up here, there's Taco Lu on Beach Boulevard. And then you turn down on 15th, and we ended up getting Pablo Hamlet, and then some at the police department. That's really about, now we're getting into some public storage areas kind of in this portion of the map, and there's other areas on 9th Street where we also to obtain. You want me to go into that too, or just kind of?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, so there's, if you go to this 9th Street area, this is, again, further on in the investigation, we were able to obtain some video from some Jack's Refrigeration, which is at the corner of 7th Avenue South and 9th Street. There's a home on, I think it's 882 12th Avenue South, might be 13th. We used that as well. And then I think public storage, we also had some surveillance from there. And that looks about it on this map.
Okay. So for this particular area, we know we've got surveillance here, 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 Taco Lu, which is up here,
Correct.
this area, and this area.
That, I believe that's correct. It might be not 12th, it might be 13th.
Sure. And just for the jury's information, it wasn't for lack of trying. You didn't skip houses along these routes or anything like that. It was just where businesses in this area or houses in this area actually had working cameras that faced the street.
Correct, working cameras. You will find that a lot of people don't pay for the subscription service, so they only have just live video feeds and things like that.
And so when you went to visit people, tell me more about that. Were there occasions where somebody had a camera in the front that you noticed, but they don't have historical footage?
Sure, a lot of people, they have cameras, but they only pay for example, I think a couple of cases that were like Google Nest, there's a free system that you get, and you get, I think, 3 hours worth of data. Everything else after that is washed. Most of the cameras now are subscription-based, so if you don't pay for the subscription, then they're not going to hold on to that data. The videos that we did find, some people have like the Lorex systems are the ones that you would find that have like an internal terabyte or just some internal hard drive that would hold video, and those places were the ones that had historical data that was longer than, say, 3 hours, a day, a week, things like that. So it kind of varied. Some people had data for 7 days. Some people had data for longer than that. But it was not a lot, but a good portion, I would say.
In collecting this video surveillance, and I understand there were other detectives working with you, did you all make efforts to ensure that the time and date stamp on the videos you collected were correct?
Correct. There's a few that you'll see some time and dates that are incorrect, and some people just don't manage their home security system, or when they start it up, they don't change it properly, and it's not synced up, right? So Ring's usually pretty good about that, but other of those home systems that you can buy online, they're inaccurate. So there's a few, like the Pablo Hamlet one is going to be a little off. I think it's 3551 America, which is the Slayman house. That one I think is also a little bit off, and then a few here and there are not exactly accurate, so we had to adjust for that, right? So we're using our phone to just make sure that, like, okay, what we're looking at right here, we need to do some quick cop math and find out that, this is the time that we're working within. And so sometimes we had to use that math and go back in time, and then we go, okay, this is the actual time of the video. It's not exactly the time that's in the top right, top left, wherever it is.
When you collected videos and ensured that the time and date stamp was correct, if it was not correct, did you document that in reports?
I don't remember. I don't know if I did or somebody else might have, but it was at some point transcribed onto a piece of paper that was handed over to one of the lead detectives, and that way they knew the information that they were looking at was chronological. So they didn't see a video like, oh, this doesn't make any sense, right? So we're looking at a video that doesn't have a right timestamp, but we would inform them that, hey, this is off X number of hours, X number of minutes, just FYI for you.
So information, if a timestamp was off, that information was collected, it was relayed to detectives so that everybody was aware of the correct time for each video collected.
That's correct.
If you saw a camera on a house and nobody answered the door, did you all make multiple efforts to go back and retrieve video?
That's correct. I think if you look at my first supplement, you'll see that there's several houses that I went to that I didn't, nobody answered the door, and which was, kind of common. It's during the day, people go to work, and so we went back, or at least I did, and all the other detectives, I'm sure you can ask them, but the additional supplements were follow-ups where I went back to the houses that we didn't have any, no contact with, right? So whether there were cameras or not, I went back, and if a second time they didn't have, they didn't answer or they weren't home, we left business cards, put the number on the back of the business card, put it in the door, call me. At that point, that was really the continuing follow-up. We didn't badger these people and go back, 3, 4, 5 times. But we did make a pretty concerted effort. If we saw a ring camera, if we saw surveillance on the eaves of a house, we would try to find out, where that person was, if we could get phone numbers for them using electrical cut-ins or historical data, things like that. So
once you all collected all of these videos, did you and other members of the Jacksonville Beach Police Department start reviewing video footage?
Correct, yes.
What were you looking for on initial review?
The first 2 houses we went to on America, we're looking for anything, right? We like to capture the incident as it happened. If we could capture, the homicide happening, that would be priority number 1. And that was pretty quick. That was first day. At 4067 America, that's Trent Waterman's house. That's the third one down America. There was a ring camera. I think it's a floodlight captured on the second floor of the house. And when I went into Mr. Waterman's house, he let me access his iPad. We pulled it up on his iPad, and we went through some videos, and there was the first video, right, where there's a truck that passes by that triggers because it's a motion-activated camera, and the video that you'll see is it's a loud gunshot, just one shot, and then there's a few seconds that go by, and off in the distance you can see a stopped car. And I'm just kind of going into it. There's a silhouette that walks in front of the car, starts walking, and then picks up pace. I believe starts running, not at an incredibly sprint, but definitely running. And they're running away from the parked car.
You have a great recall for the names and addresses of these people that correspond to the videos.
This is what I did for an entire month or month.
Right. So you mentioned this one, and this is a particularly important video because it depicts the homicide. Can you generally indicate for the jurors on this map where that resident's home was, where you got the video from?
It's not on my screen.
There we go. Is that on your screen now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so right here we've got this. It's the 4067 America. It's this little squiggly line right here. It's right about right there.
Okay. And you mentioned something about motion activated. Was that a common occurrence when you were collecting video, that most home surveillance equipment is motion activated rather than just continuous?
That's correct. That's a fair statement.
And can you explain to the jury what that meant in terms of your investigative efforts?
Yeah, so it's tough, right? I mean, you're the home surveillance ones that are hardwired, that have hard drives, they have continuous video feed, and those are easy, right? You can pick up hours long worth of data. But when it's motion activated, however long the camera goes for, whether it's 50 feet, 60 feet, it only activates when there's something in front of it. And people can dictate those camera systems how they want to. So if it's a car, if it's a person, that's up to the original homeowner. So it is trying. And sometimes, they're not perfect, right? So that's where we found a lot of videos were only motion captured, which is just a little 30 seconds before, 30 seconds after. And that's how a lot of those were.
And you mentioned specifically this video that captured a portion of the homicide. It did not capture all 4 gunshots, correct?
That's correct. Just the very last one. And it's because I believe it's Mr. Carney, that's the house in between the very last one on America, which this is, I forget his name, but this is Mr. Carney's house. He actually was driving home at the time and pulled into his driveway. Said he heard gunshots and went into his driveway. And he is the car that triggered the motion activation. So if he doesn't drive,
but for him
doing it, that motion is not activated and that camera does not exist.
And we would not have a video of a homicide. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, Corporal Wallace, I'm going to show you what's been marked and entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 91. This is a compilation video of surveillance clips. Once you identified a shooter on foot, what else did you look for that became of evidentiary significance in those videos? You were looking for the victim's vehicle.
Yeah, we're looking
Explain to the jury how your investigation developed from there.
Yeah, so we have a video, and then we're just going backward. We're trying to just, figure out the pattern and which route he drove, right? The last known location to where he was from there. So that's the first thing. And now we have, okay, this is definitely looks like a suspect, right? Running away from the scene of a homicide location. So, all right, he's running south towards JTB. That's pretty much an interstate, right? So at that point, he's either.
Yes.
Oh. Sorry, the suspect.
You can refer to it as, at the time, you had not identified this figure on screen.
At the time, we had not identified this figure that was running away from the homicide location. So the suspect is going to run into an interstate, and at that point, they either take a right, which is west over the bridge, or they have to go back east, back into Jacksonville Beach. And the first road that they're going to hit is Grande Boulevard. And at that road, they either turn back down Grande and go back towards Jacksonville Drive, or they kind of continue up and they're going to wind up going towards South Beach Parkway. So we're trying to find that figure, right? Either they got picked up or they're still on foot, or they're in hiding.
You had a description in a known vehicle belonging to the victim in this case, Jared Bridegan, a black Volkswagen Atlas. Did you also look for surveillance clips of Mr. Bridegan's Atlas?
Correct. Yes, that was the route that we established down America and Jacksonville Drive and the 15th Street, Fairway Lane, Seabreeze, and things like that.
In the killers or shooter left behind a tire in a road, and at some point, did somebody at Jacksonville Beach theorize that that tire belonged most likely to a pickup truck, a Ford F-150?
Correct. We went through I don't think I was the one that figured out or at least believed that it was to a light-size pickup truck or a Ford, but that was deduced through our investigation.
So with that information, what did you start to look for on these video clips?
We looked for other, just other trucks, light-sized trucks, but the real, I guess, aha moment was we were sitting in detectives, and we had gathered a lot of video at the time, and we used, we went back, I say like an hour and a half back in time, and one of the detectives who was sitting in the same room as me kind of noticed a vehicle that was looking, or that just acted a little different at the 4067 video, and that's Trent Waterman's video, because not only did we get the shooting video, we went back a couple hours before, a couple hours after. You don't know what you have, right? And so he noticed this vehicle, a truck actually, that was operating unusually in that stretch of Sanctuary Boulevard, and then the truck passes in one direction and then comes back another. And so once we kind of identified that was unusual, we started to really look at that vehicle, and that's kind of what started the blue truck of our investigation.
And that vehicle that you said was driving in an unusual manner before the homicide, what was unusual about the manner it was driving?
It's just kind of, I don't want to say stop for no reason, because there could be a reason that you would slow down in that area, but it wouldn't be because there's a stop sign, a yield sign, or a crosswalk. But there's really no reason, unless a squirrel runs in front of your car, to slow down to that length in that area.
And when you say that area, what are you referring to specifically?
Sanctuary Boulevard, going towards the JTV on-ramp. Most of those cars are going to JTV, and they're going to jump on the entrance ramp and head west over the bridge, because you can't go east, right? And so just going slow, the way that vehicle was traveling was unusual, is the term I would use. And then it actually turns back and does a U-turn, which again is pretty unusual. Most vehicles turn right and they go west over the bridge, but this truck did not. And it went back and came back Sanctuary Boulevard, and then kind of paused again, fairly unusually, not at a stop sign, not at a crosswalk. And so that really piqued our interest with this truck.
And that was appeared to be a blue pickup truck.
We determined to be a blue two-tone, top blue, bottom gold pickup truck, older model Ford F-150.
Once you identified that truck, in going through the surveillance video, did you look to see if there were occasions when Jared Bridegan's Atlas and a blue two-tone pickup truck were together on camera?
Yeah, we found that out pretty quickly after we really started looking at the blue truck, where we essentially, once we went back, right? So we started at the homicide location, then went back towards the last known location. And at 25 Fairway, you'll see the blue truck, and that's in front of Jared Bridegan's Atlas. And this is on the way from the last known location to the eventual homicide scene. And then we followed it and obtained other video that also kind of corroborated. Same blue truck, gold, two-tone, blue top, gold bottom, through several residents and home surveillance pre-homicide.
Were you ever able, in your review of the surveillance video collected, to make out a tag number on that vehicle? No tag number. We went through some pretty extensive efforts, took a trip to Orlando to an FDLE task force for some type of video enhancement. We couldn't find a tag number. We even sent a lot of compilations to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. They had some type of video enhancement and things where they could try to zoom and see the tag, but we were unable to capture that. And at this time, back in February of 2022, did the Jacksonville Beach jurisdiction have license plate readers?
No.
And can you explain to the jury, if they're not familiar, what is a license plate reader?
It's a moment-in-time snapshot that captures alphanumeric characteristics of your license plate and your vehicle. Occasionally, they can go into more in that and use the AI to actually figure out what kind of vehicle you have, like a truck or a car or a semi and things like that. But no, we did not have them in 2022. We do have them now, but did not then.
The video we're about to watch, there are several clips that are strung together in time order based on the corrected timestamps. Have you reviewed this video yourself?
Yes.
And there were many, many, many clips collected, and there are many trucks in Jacksonville Beach. A truck's not a unique vehicle.
Right.
As best you can say, the clips we're about to see, were you able to, with some degree of reasonable certainty, identify those as being very similar or consistent with the truck, the suspect truck?
Absolutely. Older model, blue top, gold bottom, two-tone F-150s around that same time. It's, you know, we don't have a ton of those. And so that was with, like you said, pretty much some consistency, yes, the same truck.
Were any video clips included in this compilation that you could not reasonably say were that truck specifically? Maybe there wasn't enough detail to be viewed that you could see it was two-toned or the size or anything?
Well, I think pretty much everyone in the video, you'll see that it's two-tone.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, mistake published states 91.
Yes.
Is it on the juror screen? Can you publish to all?
Yes. Sorry, it's still opening. All right.
My doodle-
Confirm, can
my
everybody
doodle
see
is-
the still shot?
The doodle is still there.
Okay. All right, I may ask you some questions as we view this, Corporal.
Sure.
Beginning with, we see these little thumbtacks here. Do those indicate the addresses of the residences and businesses that you obtained surveillance from?
It's just one, but yes.
Yeah, overall in this
Overall,
video.
correct,
What we're looking at right now, you mentioned earlier, you did retrieve surveillance from Taco Lou located at 1712 Beach Boulevard.
That's correct. I actually did, I got this one, so yes.
Okay. I'm going to begin publishing. I'm pausing it at 15 seconds. Corporal, we see a blue Ford truck driving down driving down Beach Boulevard on the Taco Lou camera, and that is one of the surveillance clips you identified as potentially being the suspect truck in this case.
That's correct.
And we see the Google map of the area. We see that south on 15th Street to Fairway Lane. Does that correspond with the map you showed us earlier of where Jared Bridegan would have left Marsh Inlet and gone south
That's correct.
down Fairway Lane? And here in this area to the left, is that Cradle Creek area that did
It's
not
that
have
Cradle
working
Creek
cameras?
area. Small little public parking lot, right here, 5-6 spaces. There was a camera right here, again, not operational.
Okay. But there is a little, where you've circled, there's a small parking lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any homes or businesses there?
No.
What is Cradle Creek?
It's a park. It's just a preserve, walk-through, nature trail. Good way for it.
So the parking lot is at the entrance of the nature trail.
That's correct.
Resuming playing, we see the Fairway Lane on the map. Then we see a pin for 25 Fairway Lane. And at the bottom, we have the timestamp notated. Would that have been the correct timestamp that you verified when you were collecting videos?
Correct.
So this is 6:36 p.m. and the homicide occurred at 7:52.
52, correct.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. The timestamp was 6:34 p.m. and what time was the homicide?
1952, 7:50.
Which is 7:52 p.m. in non-military time. Now we're seeing at America Avenue, 6:57 p.m. And Corporal, can you describe what you observed in this video that caused you to collect it and believe it to be of evidentiary value?
Yeah, it's the older model two-tone F-150, blue top, gold bottom.
And moving on the same road, a different camera at 18:41, which would be 6:41 p.m.
Right. Pretty good shot of the two-tone there.
And I paused it here at 2 minutes in, and we can see a two-toned blue pickup truck. Resuming playing, we're at 2743 America Avenue. And this Nest camera indicates this is 6:41:15 p.m. And again, Corporal, are we seeing that blue two-tone truck?
Blue two-tone truck.
And we see here 6:41:47 p.m. And this is a house on America Avenue.
This was
Is that correct?
Kelly Slayman's house, that's correct.
Okay. And here, Corporal, do we see a two-toned vehicle, a two-toned truck, I'm sorry, excuse me, passing through on this video?
Blue top, gold bottom.
I want to show that again with the
Okay.
time bar out of the way. Resuming playing. And at the bottom, we see in the right-hand corner, actual time and a timestamp. Is that one of those examples of you all correcting to make sure the time is accurate for these videos?
Correct. This was one of those home surveillance hard drive.
Resuming playing, we're going south on America Avenue. And then we see Sanctuary Boulevard. Here, I'm going to pause briefly. Before we get to the video, can you indicate for the jurors where the homicide scene was, if we're looking at the map on this video?
So it's back up in this area. This Sanctuary Wishbones, it's one-way traffic, so I'm just going to mark on it again.
Sure.
It's one way here, and then this is also one way in that direction.
And if you exit onto, this is J. Turner Butler down here?
That's correct, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that you would head west onto JTB. You can't, unfortunately, you can't see it based on this picture, but then you can kind of deduce based off of the traffic signals on the roadway, like you can only turn west. You can't go back and turn east. So again, doing a U-turn here, not unheard of, but unusual.
Okay. And this 4067 America Avenue, is that the video that you were discussing earlier was significant because it actually captured the homicide?
That's correct. That's Trent Waterman's house.
So this ring footage is dated 1843, which would be 6:43 p.m.
This is what I was, sorry.
Go ahead.
This is what I was talking about earlier. Just pretty unusual for that truck. And you could, again, see the characteristics of it right there. To slow down in that location, again, could there be a something in the road or, you know, a reason to slow down, I'm sure there could be, but it's just unusual to report it.
I'm gonna back it up 10 seconds, 20 seconds actually. So this video is not continuous, it skips. Was that how you collected it?
Correct.
And is that because of what we discussed earlier, that if you have motion down here, people coming out, motion activates it?
That's correct. I think you'll see Mr. Waterman is moving or doing something. I think he has a dolly in this video, but he's moving back and forth in the camera. It's detecting motion. So that's
So when the screen says 10 seconds later, that means there is no corresponding video for that time frame because there's no motion down here activating the camera.
That's correct.
We do see that truck slowing down.
Right.
And is,
Almost comes to a stop, it looks like.
where it slowed down, this area here, is this where the homicide occurred?
That's, yes.
And 6:43 is about an hour and 10 minutes prior to the homicide.
Right.
And we see that truck again, and we see the brake lights coming on again.
Yes, correct. Now, there is a stop sign, but it's much further.
So there's no stop sign right there where it's brake lights?
Not right there. Yeah, you'll see, you kind of go up, we're still going up, still going up. Actually, I take that back. I'm not sure if there's a stop sign here at this location. But again, this is the intersection where one would slow down to turn left, right.
Understood. Then we have 3940 Grande Boulevard. This is at 6:44 p.m.
Right.
And we see that two-toned vehicle, and in this shot, we can see a very good shot into the bed of that vehicle.
Correct.
And it appears to be an object in the bed of that vehicle.
There is definitely an object in the bed of that truck.
And in this video on Grande Boulevard at 6:45 prior to the homicide, the vehicle, would you say, appears to be driving a reasonable speed for the neighborhood?
It seems fine.
Right, it's not speeding.
No, not speeding, yeah, that's reasonable speed.
Continuing publishing. I should have asked this earlier, but this map is oriented north to south, east, west. So whatever cardinal direction it's moving is correct.
Correct, it's moving north.
Jacksonville Drive runs east and west, and South Beach runs north to south.
That's correct.
And we have a video here from Ocean K at 6:44 p.m. What is Ocean K?
It's a subdivision in South Jacks Beach.
We see a vehicle, that two-tone truck again.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are at 882 13th Avenue. You had mentioned earlier expanding your search to 9th Street and 13th Street. And then here we also see that the start time, the timestamp has been corrected.
Correct.
And we saw that two-tone truck with another vehicle passing behind it. And 901 7th Street South. Actual time 1850, which would be 6:50 p.m., correct?
That's correct.
We see that. You see that truck going by again. Again, it appears when you watch it, there's something in the bed of that truck.
Correct.
The jury will obviously have this in the jury room with them. This is on Windows Media Player. If you pause it and hit key E, you can go frame by frame. And this is Shetter Avenue.
Heading towards the police department.
Okay. You mentioned earlier builder's choice and also a refrigeration.
Correct. Jack's Refrigeration was back on 9th Street. This is builder's choice and public storage.
What I wanted to ask was the video that we're seeing on the map that was more south would it be fair to say mostly residential cameras?
Yes.
And then now here we're further north, we're starting to get into more
Commercial properties.
commercial properties. So in the area where the homicide occurred, are there very many businesses or commercial properties?
No, it's pretty much all residential.
And here we are showing the approximate actual corrected time is 6:50:49 p.m. and we can see the blue two-tone truck. And you made attempts on this video in particular to see if you could get a tag.
This one in the 882 13th that you saw a couple of minutes ago.
You were unable to make out a tag number on this.
That's correct.
And we're seeing right here on Penman Road and Shutter, this is the Jacksonville Beach Police Station.
Correct.
You all obviously have surveillance. So we see here at 6:52, that two-tone truck driving past the police station. And again, over here, do we see that two-tone truck?
Blue top, gold bottom.
This road here that this truck is traveling on, is that Shetter Avenue?
That is Shetter Avenue.
If you keep driving Shetter Avenue west, what do you get to eventually?
You're going to run into Pablo Hamlet. It's an assisted living facility.
And is that kind of the dead end of Shetter Avenue?
That is the dead end of Shetter Avenue.
So here we see indicated the camera for Pablo Hamlet, that assisted living facility you spoke about. What is this property, if you come back down here, what is this property here?
That's part of the assisted living facility. It's just a four-story building. Just one solid address.
And to get to this property, is this how you would come in through Shetter?
That's the only way you can get there.
So we see here from this camera angle, and this is a video with an incorrect timestamp. Actual time, 6:53:16 p.m. So we're still about an hour ahead of the homicide. In this video, we see that two-tone truck backing up. And right here, just to orient the jury, this camera, that assisted living facility that I just circled in the last frame, it's behind us, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then where is Shetter, if we're looking at this?
Shetter is right here. Like there's a little, I guess, cul-de-sac dead end that kind of circles around right here. But Shetter is back up this way. This is all Pablo Hamlet parking lot.
What is here? What is this way on this side of
That's the backside of Pablo Hamlet.
And if you keep going out Shetter, what property is located here in between? Hold on.
Sorry.
I don't want to talk over you because Miss Melanie, our court reporter, is going to give me the stink eye if I keep doing that. In between this assisted living facility and Shutter Avenue, is there another property right here?
Discovery School.
The Discovery School. And can you explain to the jury what the Pablo Hamlet surveillance is going to show? There's quite a bit of time this truck is sitting here, correct?
Yeah, so we watched it, we watched this video a lot to see if we could see someone walking away from it to it. But it's just backed in, sitting there in the back of a cul-de-sac. Like it's, I don't want to say a parking area, but vehicles have parked there and do park there. But backing in that like, U-shaped area is
How long
classify
approximately,
unusual.
if you can recall, about how long does this truck sit here?
20, 30 minutes?
So we've included the entirety of the 23 minutes it's sitting here. I'm going to kind of move it along if I can. So the entirety of the time of this 23 minutes, this truck remains here, and we can tell that because its headlight is still visible, correct?
The back taillight, actually.
Taillight.
Yeah.
So we see at some point during the video that the taillight appears to go dim.
Correct.
Yes, please move it along because we do not want to sit here for 23 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Looking at nothing. Ooh, really, Eva? Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the important parts of that, the LC stuff, for us to kind of like, so we can skip through it. A lot of other stuff. Just because I don't want a verdict or something to come in and we missed it. So I guess she's skipping past this part. So the truck was backed in for, I believe, they say 23 to 30 minutes, backed into the cul-de-sac. So they're just moving past this part for us in the video, guys.
During this 23 minutes, we're going to see other vehicles and people coming back into that living facility. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right here, though, this is just like a cul-de-sac cut-in. There's no apartments here. There's no businesses.
No, it's just a cul-de-sac.
There's no formal
turnaround.
parking spots drawn.
I don't think so.
And then we see headlights or taillights coming back on. And then they dim again. You can see a little cat through the parking lot. I try to move this along. I don't want everyone just sitting here while this truck is sitting here. Obviously, the jury can take it back in the jury room and watch it in its entirety. I see the taillights have come back on. Too far. And they're dimming, and then we can see that the truck pulls out at the actual corrected time of 7:12 p.m., correct?
Correct.
So the map we discussed earlier, that Pablo Hamlet at Shetter, if you go down 15th, you hit the Discovery School, and then right next to the Discovery School is going to be 1511 Marsh Inlet, the home of Mr. Gardner and Ms. Fernandez. And as you mentioned, going down 15th Street, you've got Cradle Creek down here with no cameras, and then the golf course with no cameras. The next available footage is going to be this camera we looked at previously on Fairway Lane.
25 Fairway, correct.
25 Fairway Lane. So there was no available footage from that point that truck left Pablo Hamlet until this camera at 25 Fairway Lane.
That's correct.
So here we have at 7:47, we see that truck. And then, is this one of those videos you discussed where we actually see the truck followed by that black Volkswagen Atlas?
Correct.
And Corporal, for the next few minutes of surveillance, we're going to see that truck and then the victim's vehicle, and then we're going to see the homicide video, correct?
Correct.
So 7:50 p.m., there's that truck. Again, the truck. And this time, does he appear to be moving at a higher rate of speed than the previous videos?
Definitely following pretty closely behind the white pickup truck.
And we are approximately 1 minute and 15 seconds from the homicide. And we are seeing what appears to be the Volkswagen Atlas. So it's a couple seconds behind that truck.
Correct.
At 7:25 p.m., we have that Nest camera. We see a white truck. We see that two-tone truck. And then we're going to see the victim's Atlas passing by as well. 7:51:11, that 2-ton truck is going by, fair to say, at a decently high rate of speed for the area?
I would say over the speed limit.
Okay. And then we have the victim's vehicle behind. Sound's not on? Let's see. Sure this is on. There we go. So Corporal, we see a black placard sign. Was there audio of gunshots collected from other ring cameras in the area that did not show the homicide?
Sanctuary Way South, correct.
Okay. So we're going to hear 3 shots from a different camera and then see the homicide on the 4th shot. Is that right?
That's correct.
So 7:51:11 is the suspect vehicle. $7:51:32. So the truck is about 20 seconds ahead of victim's vehicle, give or take. We see that figure you described walking and then running out of frame.
Correct.
And Corporal, is that the video that you described earlier showing the figure that eventually was identified as the suspect in this case, Henry Tenen?
Correct.
After Henry Tenen was identified, did you go back and look for a figure on foot that matched his description and matched the homicide timeline?
Yes.
All right, we see Grande Boulevard, and we saw this same view earlier with the boat, when we could see that tire in the back of the vehicle. So we're now at 7:53:40 p.m., and we appear to see no object in the back of that truck now.
Correct.
And would you say, earlier I asked you, it appeared to be driving at a normal rate of speed. Would you say that that vehicle is now traveling at an excessive rate of speed in the neighborhood?
Definitely above the speed limit.
Following receiving this video and seeing that the shooter was on foot and not in a vehicle, and the identification of Henry Tenen, did you all look for video surveillance showing a truck and a shooter separated from each other? A vehicle leaving the scene as well as an individual on foot leaving a scene?
Like 2 different times, yes.
And what does that indicate to you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Well, the timing is different. So we saw the vehicle go by, and we're going to see someone go by on foot. Is
Correct.
common sense?
The vehicle is gone.
Right.
And the this suspect is just walking, away from the homicide scene.
Okay, so the suspect walking is not in the truck.
Yes.
We see here a figure on foot. We see some minutes later, after we watch that truck speed down Grande, we see this figure on foot following a few minutes behind. And here we see that Ocean Cay surveillance showing a truck, and then 18 minutes, 36 seconds later, that same camera picks up that figure on foot, correct?
Correct.
I see a timestamp for 7:50, which is about 8 minutes after the homicide, and we see that truck backing back into that same cul-de-sac that it was in earlier. And then appears to turn. Were you all able to obtain footage or find that blue truck between Ocean Cay and Pablo Hamlet? Hang on, let me pause this.
Yeah. You talking after the? I don't remember. Again, I got promoted in April, so I went away from investigations, and people kind of took up what I was doing.
So we see here an hour and 43 seconds since Ocean Cay, the police department surveillance picks up that figure on foot again, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Here in another angle from the police station surveillance, we see that same figure walking. And again, is this Cheddar Road, Cheddar Avenue?
Cheddar.
And is
Found
this,
on Cheddar. Sorry.
And does this lead all the way back to that dead-end cul-de-sac at Pablo Hamlet?
It does.
Corporal Wallace, other than collecting and reviewing the surveillance video to assist the detectives in this case, you didn't participate in any witness interviews and ongoing investigation, did you?
I think I assisted Detective Lamont with an interview of Miss Curry. And then I think that was it.
You were assisting in mainly in this capacity with the surveillance, and you did not participate in the arrests of Mr. Fernandez, Ms. Gardner, or Mr. Tennant.
That's correct.
Give me just one moment.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, let me see the lawyers at sidebar without the court reporter.
You know, of course, I probably did this thing where I didn't move this sidebar 4. We got sidebar 4.
So the jury, we've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm going to take a 15-minute break. We will start back. It'll take you some time to get back there at 11:05, okay? So leave your notepads on your chair, and you can take your mid-morning break.
Well, what I can tell you is that I do love me some video, baby. I'm still trying to figure out why he got out the car and why he was walking. And this is my other thing that I'm trying to figure out is how is the state gonna be able to bring in his actual statements? Because although Henry said no, it wasn't me, I think that his statements can still come in. So I'm wondering how that's gonna work. Now, I'm almost sure that when they go to lunch here, or when they go to lunch, well, whenever they go to lunch here is when we will go over to our Tupac trial. It looks like they do take lunch about 12 o'clock. So I'm assuming if they come back at 11 o'clock, looks like they're a little bit late, but if they come back very shortly, then they'll go until about 12 o'clock. Then at 12 o'clock, we will switch gears and we are going to go over there and cover our Tupac trial. So hopefully everybody's ready for that. Let's see here. You say because it was a gas guzzler. It's so crazy because he had put it in the back of the house and I don't think the vehicle ever moved from there. Like, it was behind the house. That's where they found it at, like, all those months later. Because when he got pulled over, Henry Tennant, he was not in this vehicle at the time that he got pulled over. For anybody out there that missed the early testimony with the crime scene, I thought that was like, I don't know if it's wild because we saw stuff that we probably shouldn't have been seeing. In all honesty, but if you missed it, please go check it out. I did clip it and put it on the channel's website for those that did not see it. But I thought that, yeah, you have to be watching it because they're going to give you flashes and then they're going to like flash back. It's like, oops, I forgot. So you get glimpses of stuff that we probably shouldn't have seen. But if you're watching it, you can't be listening. You got to be actually watching it to catch it, because if not, you won't see it. Yeah, and that it probably was definitely a gas guzzler in that sense. I did hear some pretty interesting things are happening over there with LC trial. Just while we on our little intermission here. My hope and plan and goal, guys, is once I find out exactly what we are doing tomorrow for our Tupac trial, I'm almost sure there will not be any court tomorrow. But I'm waiting for her to confirm. Judge Carly, I don't think she has changed her dark day. But if that's the case, then my plan is to kind of do some just like pull out certain key parts of the testimony from yesterday and today for the Lindsay Clancy trial to just kind of catch us up. Like, I'll weed through the filters of it so that way we're not like sitting up there trying to watch it on 1.5 or sitting up there trying to listen to long drawn out testimony. I just really want to get to the, this. I found it. So that's my plan for that. I just want to see what time. Hey, Ilona, I just want to see what time. Oh, happy birthday. Ooh, we get to play our birthday song. Y'all know I be wanting to play my birthday song that I got. We will, and that way we can catch up. That way when they do come out with a verdict, we'll be ready. We'll be ready, at least caught up for that part. Because I'm not like listening to it, but I am trying to get everything together to make sure I can present the information to you guys in the most concise way and take the fluff out of everything, if that makes sense. Considering our time over here taking the trial is very, very important because we like in all the courtrooms, so we have to make sure that we utilize our time perfectly. So every minute has to be used. Oh, let me see. Shout out to Ilona, girl. Yeah, you allowed to lay down, kick your feet up, and do you, boo. What's up, lady? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, there we go.
Everybody rise. Everybody rise. Everybody rise. Court is now in session. Today we're here for a special confession. The evidence is clear, there's no denial. It's your birthday, here it take it to trial. Sweet pea gang in the back, all standing proud. Got the whole room lit, got the whole room loud. No filter, no fluff, just facts today. You get the gold crown, we don't play. Happy birthday! The verdict's in the day. Another year of greatness, let's celebrate your way. Judge says party, jury agrees. We got your name up in the sweetest decree. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! From take it to trial, we're celebrating you. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Sweet pea gang! Sweet pea gang in the aisle, we're celebrating you. Birthday wishes delivered with ease. Cake on the table and you got the keys. Another year wiser, another year fine. Still the main event, still the headline. The final ruling after the trial. Have the best birthday from take it to trial. Hands in the air when the name gets said. All love all day from the floor to the head. No objections, let it ring. One more year for the birthday king. No objections, let it ring. One more year for the birthday queen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. From take it to trial, we're celebrating you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Sweet pea gang. Sweet pea gang in the aisle, we're celebrating you. Ending tag. The verdict is in. You're officially another year fabulous. Happy birthday from Sweet Pea and the Sweet Pea Gang! Everybody rise.
Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. What a good time. You know, whenever we get to play it, we want to play it. Hopefully, make sure you enjoy your special day, Ilana. Shout out to you. Let's see here. So that was a good part of our little recess break, baby. Let's see. So I want to know, like, when you looking at this case right now, where it stands, I'm sure I should probably put a poll up there to see where we're at as far as our guilty. I need somebody to come pack some box. I'm like looking at this stuff like, I tell you, I'm about to get ready to try to move, and man, I don't know who wants to pack boxes, but what's gonna have to happen? Let me see here. All right. So this is just based off the testimony that you have heard. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like when we listen at this trial, and I see like a Mario over there, like I don't even know how they thought that this was gonna work. I think that they really, 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 really thought that there was gonna be no connection between. Oh, you can hear me tapping. Sorry. I really think that they thought that there was going to be no connection between Mario and Henry. But Henry, Henry just happened to walk up that day to the house. Another thing that I think that the defense is probably going to hammer home, and they haven't done it yet, but when they went to the house where they found the vehicle, it wasn't at Henry's house. It was at associate's house. And they never searched the associate's house for any type of weapon or any type of evidence relating to the case. And I'm really surprised about that. Excuse me. Especially since the vehicle was not found at, Henry's house. It was found somewhere else. So yeah, I'm really, really surprised that they didn't do a search of the person's home. But I guess if you don't have probable cause to search a person's home, you don't search it. Oh, boo, anytime. Yeah, so I just wonder how. I think the defense is gonna play into that. I think the defense is, they already said that they're going to be showing videos and surveillance of Henry Tennant doing work around the house for $10,000. I don't see how $10,000 worth of work was done, but we shall see what they come up with in that regard. But I don't see it. But you never know. Let me make sure. She usually be on time. Oh, here we go.
Is correct.
Oh. It looked like we still with the same officer in the stand, guys.
To look at a lot of footage in this case. Is that fair?
Fair.
And you wanted everything to be as accurate as possible. Is that right?
Yes.
Took time to try to match times, and I think if I understood you correctly, that was not the first time you had seen that video before today, correct?
That is correct. One time.
So and you agree with me that accuracy is important, right?
Yes.
This is a big case. It's an important case.
Yes.
All right. So let's just start with one thing I think you'll agree with me is just flat out wrong about that video, okay?
Is it published for the jurors?
It is. Members of the jury, can you see that?
Can you see it? Okay, you may proceed.
All right, so this is,
Should be,
well, hold on, let me ask my question.
sure, go ahead.
My question to you is, this is the part of the video where the blue two-tone truck, as you say, comes back to Pablo Hamlet, correct?
Correct.
And you and I know, and you know now what the mistake is because you see it, this homicide was at 7:52, correct?
Correct.
And on this video, that the state put into evidence and asked you detailed questions about, you said that this is the truck coming back at 7:50, correct?
I did not say 7:50.
Well, the video says 7:50, correct?
It does. That's correct.
That's wrong.
Should be 8 o'clock.
Right, it can't come back at 7:50 because it would never match the timeline. So if that in fact is the truck, it's either the time is wrong in that video or that's not the truck.
The time is wrong in that video.
That's what your position is, the time is wrong.
That's correct.
Okay. So now let's go back to the first time that the truck goes to Pablo Hamlet, okay?
Okay.
May I approach the evidence, Your Honor?
Yes.
May I just take this binder with me?
Sure.
I'm going to show you what's been marked by the defense as exhibit number 26, okay? Maybe turn it the other way, Ms. Day. Okay, can you see that, Corporal?
It's not on the screen.
Okay, fair enough. Can you see that?
That's correct.
All right, this is a daytime photo of the area of Pablo Hamlet where you have testified the truck backed up?
Correct.
Okay, so just to give the jury some idea of what we're talking about, the assisted living facility is that big building that's parked there?
On the left-hand side, correct.
And then there's some signs in between the roadway and the little mini cul-de-sac. Do you see those signs?
Correct.
I assume being in Jack's Beach as long as you have, you know that those signs say that you're being recorded.
Can you tell me when this picture was taken?
Do you think those signs are new?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you dispute that there are signs there that say you're being recorded?
I don't dispute, I just don't know.
Okay, sure. Well, let's just use what we know to be true then. That area is being recorded, correct?
At the time, yes, it was.
Sure. And that's how you have the evidence that you have, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it wouldn't shock you that there's a sign there that says you're being recorded, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't shock me, I guess.
Okay. Oh, can I see that photo back? Showing you what's been entered into evidence as defense number 27. It's another daytime photo. Can you see that, Corporal?
That's correct. Yes, I can.
If you were backed up into that spot and you were sitting in the passenger or driver's seat or whatever vehicle and you were looking out, that building is an apartment or condo complex to the left, correct?
That's correct.
So that would be just on the other side of the street to where you sort of saw that station wagon parked, just maybe a little bit forward or east.
Station wagon was in the previous photo?
It wasn't in the previous photo, it was in that long video that we all watched.
Yeah, okay.
You remember there's a station wagon sort of on the right-hand side for that 17 minutes? I'll show it to you again.
Okay,
But nonetheless,
sure.
it's on the roadway as you're going into where the assisted living facility is.
Yes,
So just so everyone understands, you have this apartment complex that's over here. You have the parking spot, and then kind of behind it, in between those two things is where the truck may have been parked.
Was parked, yes.
Was parked. So there's lots of residential living areas that surround that spot, correct?
It's a lot of units, correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, this has been marked as defense 28 for the record. Corporal, that's a close-up of those signs.
Correct.
And then if you look to the left, there's like a Mini, is that, you know, that brand of car?
Correct.
Okay. And then just beyond the Mini, do you see that smoking shack?
It's a gazebo, correct.
Gazebo. And that's where people at the assisted living community go back and forth if they want to sit in there, smoke a cigarette, or do anything they want, converse, right?
Sure.
And that's right next to where that little parking spot is where you say the truck backed into, correct?
Correct, yeah. The angle of this picture isn't perfect. This brush right here kind of blocks it depending on how far you back up into that cul-de-sac.
Right. And of course, while we were watching that video, you can see cars going in and cars going out.
That's correct.
So fair to say it's surrounded by residential areas, a gazebo. It's not tucked in the middle of nowhere where no one would see what's going on in that cul-de-sac, correct?
Can you, sorry, repeat the question?
That cul-de-sac
Right.
at Pablo Hamlet is not in the middle of nowhere. It's dead center in between two residential buildings that I've shown you, right?
Correct.
And a smoking shack or a gazebo where people may be.
Correct.
This is
Usually
about-
used during the day for that smoke shack.
We're talking about, what, 7 p.m.? I'm sorry, 6,
Yeah.
6:17, that area, that time?
Yeah, I would say mostly used during the day, less at evening.
Okay. Oh, can I have that photo back? Okay. Just so we're clear, your timeline on the first video that you stand by and you say is correct, the truck backs up at approximately 6:53 p.m. and leaves around 7:12 p.m. I'm not trying to play gotcha.
Yeah, I need to go back and look at it, but correct.
Sure, load it up, please. Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
And you said, while we're pulling that up so you can verify those times, that as part of that time that you took to find all this surveillance and to review all this surveillance, you watched that video multiple times, correct?
Correct.
That was an important piece of evidence, correct?
Correct.
And you can never see a person going to or from that truck at any point during that surveillance, can you?
That's correct.
Okay. And that's something that you looked for.
That's also correct.
And as you sit here today, there is no evidence of that.
I cannot see anyone walking to or from the car.
Okay. Common sense tells us there has to be a driver in the car, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And a point that I think the state asked you, and maybe I didn't understand that it was so clear, so I'll ask you again. The shooter in this case leaves on foot from the homicide scene, correct?
Correct.
So without beating around the bush, you can't be the driver and the shooter in this case.
I don't want to say, I mean, can you not?
The vehicle,
Yeah. Maybe I'm not understanding your question.
yeah, maybe you don't, because I think this is really an easy question.
Okay.
The person who is the person who you say is the shooter,
Yes.
you identified as walking and then running from the scene.
What I'm saying is, could they have been the driver first and then the passenger, or the passenger first and then the driver second? That's all I was saying.
Okay. There's two people in the car. That's for certain.
That's correct.
Because you can't be the person running from the scene and the person driving the vehicle away from the scene, correct?
Correct.
And in all of the surveillance that we went through for the last hour and a half, that you have poured over, did you ever see any surveillance of Mr. Fernandez?
No.
Did you ever see any surveillance consistent with anybody else getting into that blue truck?
No.
And in this video, you would agree with me that there were times where whoever made this compilation that you had seen before you came to court and you testified to, there were times where you thought it was important, because you testified to it, that there were gaps, meaning 5 minutes later, like it would come on the screen. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And it would say 5 minutes later, 18 minutes later, 1 hour and 45 minutes later. Do you recall those messages, so to speak, coming up as part of the video?
Correct.
Okay, but I want to show you where you didn't put that on the video, because you know that at approximately 7:12, and do you need to see that to refresh your recollection as to when that truck leaves?
Corporal, may I answer?
I'm sorry. Oh, when it leaves on the video. Sorry.
Sure. The correct, and I'm not talking about the time that the video says it leaves. I want to talk in fact, what time you think it actually is.
Okay.
Because just for the record, we both agree that this video time is not accurate.
That's correct.
You had to do some math.
Correct.
And it's approximately a 17-minute fast video.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to get it to the end so you can verify for me that it's approximately 7:12. Okay, take your time. Okay. Stop. Was I pretty accurate when I told you it was 7:12?
Yes.
And you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next time, do you agree with me that between when that vehicle pulls out and the next time on this video you see that blue truck, no message pops up to tell anybody who would be watching this video that there's a gap like you do the other few times in this video? You understand my question?
I see what you're saying. There's no like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later.
I didn't tell you. So now let's look and see what time the next time this video picks up. So we all watched it together. Shows the truck pulling out, and then it shows an animation as if it's just going down the road, and then you would agree with me, the next time it hits anything, it's 7:47.
Correct.
That's 36 minutes later.
Correct.
You have no idea where that blue truck is for 36 minutes.
I don't know.
There's not a single piece of surveillance that you can provide that gives this jury any indication of what was happening during that 36 minutes.
Not to my knowledge.
And fair enough, although it may not say it, you agree with me, I've now pointed out that it's an accurate approximate 36-minute gap.
Correct.
Okay. Some of the things that I'm sure you were looking for on that blue two-tone truck were, did you ever notice that the tag light was a bright tag light versus other tag lights? Is that ever something that caught your attention?
Not necessarily. I think, yeah, just,
That wasn't one thing that you sort of, when you were trying to identify, and let's just back up a little bit.
Sure.
That truck is certainly easier to identify in the dusk hour than it is in the night hour.
correct.
In the night hour, harder to identify is just a fact, right?
You're using brake lights, the, I guess, truck bed light, the front headlights, and then the actual shape of the car.
And you never noticed anything like that tag light was particularly bright.
I don't think so. I think it was just illuminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we get to the end of the video, okay, it ends with what you all described as a shadowy figure walking past the police department, correct?
Yes.
But one thing I didn't ask you is the Pablo Hamlet camera is not motion activated.
That's correct.
You gave a few examples and you said, there are some people that have cameras. The guy with the dolly came out, it triggered it, and then lucky enough for the investigation, you got some footage, right?
Correct.
And then you talked about other times where there's still cameras that just record everything all the time.
Correct.
So to give a fair example, Pablo Hamlet is a camera that records things all the time.
Correct.
So if we want to know what happened at Pablo Hamlet, we don't have to guess, right?
Correct.
So if we want to make it so that the blue truck gets to Pablo Hamlet and we think that is the truck, we'll see it at Pablo Hamlet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now with all those facts that we can agree on together, at the end of your video, when the shadowy figure, who I won't beat around the bush, you think that's Henry Tenen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Henry Tenen is walking past the police station, correct?
Correct.
And Henry Tenen is walking toward Pablo Hamlet. That's what you ended your testimony with, right?
Correct.
And it sort of makes this illusion that he's going back to where that truck may have been, correct?
He's heading back towards where the truck ended, correct?
Right. But what we know, because that camera records all the time, is there is no video of Henry Tenen going back to where that truck was.
Not to my knowledge, that's correct.
Right, sure, that would be important, and you would have shown that to the jury, right?
Correct.
And of course, if the truck was there, if the concept is, well, he's heading back toward where we know that truck was before, then let's go look. Is the truck there? We know the truck is not there. Otherwise, we could show it to the jury, right?
Sorry, say it one more time.
I'll make it clear. The truck is not at Pablo Hamlet any other time than when you've shown the jury the truck is at Pablo Hamlet.
Not to my knowledge, correct.
Right. Because, and it's not because you're now just figuring this out. You looked to see if the truck went back to Pablo Hamlet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was part of your scouring all sorts of surveillance clips and watching all of the time that you put in, you would have seen it if it was there. And of course, it's not in the video and it's not there, correct?
Now, also don't forget, these videos do overwrite themselves. And so there were times where we went back and forth to other places. I don't know if the investigators went back and tried to obtain more video after the fact. But, you know, what we have is, I think, what we were able to get at the time.
All right. Corporal, let's shoot each other straight. The video that we have from that night is that night, correct?
Yes.
You have it earlier in the evening, like we talked about. between the hours of 6:53 and 7:12, right?
Yes,
And then you told me there's a corrected time where it goes back at 8 p.m.,
about 8 p.m.
about 8
correct.
p.m.
Sure.
after the homicide, and you stand here today and you're telling the jury, I think that's the truck. You told me that right in the beginning.
Yes,
And then there's video of Henry Tenon about an hour and, I don't know, 58 minutes, a couple hours later, walking past the police station pretty close to the area, right?
correct.
You can't possibly think that in that gap of 2 hours, that there was a video override and somehow you guys just don't have footage from 2 hours later. You're not testifying to that, are you?
What I'm saying is that when you go to get the video, let's just say you go back one time, and then you maybe go back a month later or weeks later, and videos do rewrite themselves. So if you're looking for more data, which we did do, where we only had like an hour before, 2 hours before, you want to go back and you want to get more data. I mean, if I could go back and get the entire day, I would have done that. But at the time, we only got certain segments, and I don't recall if that was one of the instances where we got a fixed amount of data, and then we went back and asked for more, and it was already overwritten. I don't remember.
Well, nonetheless, on that night, from the clips that you do have, you have no information that blue truck went back to Pablo Hamlet. Because it'd be on video.
I don't believe so, correct.
And you have no video of Henry Tenon walking toward Pablo Hamlet after he's last seen on the police camera, Jacks Beach police camera videos, correct?
Well, he is walking towards it. He's walking west. But actually arriving to that location, no.
And in this case, what can you offer in terms of videos? Because I want to make sure it's clear. There's lots of surveillance after that time period in Jacks Beach, meaning after the homicide, you have video at Grande, correct?
Yes,
You have video at Fairway Lane, correct?
correct.
And I'm going to represent to you that all of that post-homicide camera video that we briefly just talked about, more video at Grande, more at Fairway, more on what's the main roads that goes up, where the park and the fire station, no,
South Beach Parkway?
South Beach Parkway,
Yep.
okay, and Ocean K. You have video of trucks that night, post the homicide, that were provided to us in discovery that you all collected, correct?
Yes.
And I noticed in the video, none of that exists. Do you not know where that blue truck went at all after it left Pablo Hamlet?
Which instance at the?
The second time.
It's from the second time, so essentially,
8 p.m.
yeah. That 36-minute gap, is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, that's a better question.
Sure.
The 36-minute gap, just so I want everyone to be clear, is before the homicide.
Correct.
We talked about that. Then it's your testimony that after the homicide, the blue truck goes back to Pablo Hamlet briefly. It looks like it backs in and it pulls out.
Correct.
And you told me you think that's approximately 8 o'clock, and we've corrected the time to the video, right?
Correct.
And the video ends after Henry Tenon walks toward that area. Is that fair?
Correct, yes.
So I'm asking you, just to kind of back up, you collected a lot of surveillance in Jacks Beach post that time, correct?
Correct.
And I'm going to represent to you, it's in evidence for the jury to see.
Yeah.
But I'm asking you, doing what criminal defense lawyers should never do. I'm not asking you a leading question. Do you have evidence of where that blue truck went after it pulled out of Pablo Hamlet the second time at 8 p.m.?
I think we have it going by Ocean K. Am I mistaken on that? You go back and,
I think you do.
yeah.
That it reroutes, it does the loop again, correct?
Goes back towards Ocean K, I believe, and then after that, I don't think there's anything from Ocean K until back to Pablo Hamlet. Maybe
There's nothing
Oh, no,
back to Pablo
yes.
Hamlet, right? Let's just be clear here. I'm not trying to confuse you.
sure.
You don't ever have it going back to Pablo Hamlet. That's what I've been asking you
Yeah,
about
I
the
don't,
last 10
I don't
minutes.
think so.
Sorry?
I'm trying to remember. We're going through two different timelines here.
I want to make sure we're crystal clear, and I'll take the blame for that.
Okay.
There's two timelines. There is a pre-homicide timeline, meaning, let's just walk through it real quick. You showed the jury the blue truck in the almost daylight hours, the dusk hours. Before the homicide, go to the homicide scene, correct?
Yes.
That's the one that you described as sort of unusual.
Correct.
It makes the U-turn, right?
Correct.
It's driving very slow.
Correct.
Just so we're clear, that's before the homicide.
Yes.
Then it goes to Pablo Hamlet, correct?
Correct.
And it stays there for that time period that I've asked you about many, many times, which is the 6:53 to 7:12, correct?
Yes.
Then it leaves, and then there's a 36-minute gap.
That's correct.
You don't know where it is at that point.
I don't know where it is at that time.
Then you testify that you think it gets picked up and it goes to the homicide scene, correct?
Correct.
And then at 7:52, there's a homicide.
Correct.
And then you see the truck post the homicide.
Yes.
And that's where Ms. Stifler asked you, does it appear to be driving a little fast? That you said yes,
I'm sorry, Jacksonville driving Grande Boulevard, yes.
right?
Correct.
And then you see it on Ocean K,
Correct.
and then you see it up toward the police station and the public storage.
Correct.
And then you see it past the police station. That's the video where all the people are on the sidewalk and the truck passes right by them,
Correct.
right? So we're not talking, and another question is, that truck passed people right there on the sidewalk at the police station, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't in the middle of the night. We're talking between 7:52 and 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night, right?
Yes.
And then, just to continue, because I want this to be so crystal clear, then the truck goes back to Pablo Hamlet, correct?
Yes.
And you see it pull in
Yes.
and pull out.
Yes.
Doesn't stay there for
Very long.
very long.
Correct.
And that is the last time you ever have that truck at Pablo Hamlet.
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay, that we can agree.
Okay, sure.
All right. I certainly am not trying to confuse you. I'm just trying to get the facts.
Sure.
Then, if I understood your testimony correct, you think that you do have evidence of the truck again in other places of Jack's Beach? Or were you confused and you didn't understand my question?
No, I was confused. That's what we have, the evidence that we have.
Okay, so you would not feel comfortable testifying that in the clips of all the other surveillance, because again, let's continue with this timeline to make sure you're not confused. I did ask you, you did collect more surveillance after the homicide, meaning after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
You have surveillance at Ocean K after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
You have surveillance at Grande after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
You have surveillance at Fairway and America after 8 o'clock.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm going to submit to you that that's in evidence for the jury to look at.
Yes.
They can make a decision if they see the blue truck driving around Jack's Beach. But what your testimony is, if I understand it, is that you don't feel comfortable saying where that blue truck is after 8 p.m.
Correct.
So it takes Mr. Tennant a couple hours on foot to get back up to that area, right?
Correct.
And it would be your testimony, you have no idea where that blue truck is during that time period.
Correct.
And as part of collecting all the surveillance and speaking to witnesses, nobody puts that blue truck at Marsh Inlet, the residence of Mr. Fernandez and Shanna Gardner at that time, correct?
To my knowledge, that is correct.
Of course. And nobody has any surveillance at Marsh Inlet that puts that blue truck over there at Marsh Inlet, correct?
To my knowledge, correct.
Because that would be included in the video. That'd be really good evidence against Mr. Fernandez if you did, right?
That would be good evidence.
Sure. And you don't have that.
Do not.
May I have a moment with counsel, Your Honor?
Yes.
We do not have any further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Right, thank you. Any redirect?
Corporal, I'm going to borrow some of these photographs the defense showed you. Still up there? Gotcha. I got it. Thank you. Corporal, defense counsel showed you a photograph of Pablo Hamlet with some signs, and you asked when this photo was taken because you could not recall if those signs were present back in 2022. So I think in fairness, you should know this photograph was taken by defense counsel in July of 2026. Does that give you any information or refresh your memory as to whether those signs were present back in 2022?
Again, I can't say if they were there or not.
Okay. And for the record, this is Defense Exhibit 26. I'm showing you Defense Exhibit number 28, which Mr. Dreiser showed you as well, with a little smoking gazebo here. There we go. And I'm circling the left-hand side of my screen. And these signs here, which I'm circling on the right-hand side of the screen. The cul-de-sac where the truck is located is around this corner, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if you were backed in the truck, you would be adjacent to these bushes and not, and I just want to make it clear because maybe I misunderstood, Mr. Dreiser, you would not be right here next to this smoking shack, would you?
No, likely hidden from view.
Mr. Dreiser mentioned a gap in video footage for 36 minutes when the blue truck leaves Pablo Hamlet for the first time and is not seen again until Fairway Lane prior to the homicide. And I'm showing you State's Exhibit 209, which we've previously gone over. Actually, I'm going to show you State's 208. This is kind of a silly question, but you can't know what you can't know, right?
Sounds right.
Earlier, you testified that here, this flag is 1511 Marsh Inlet, and that there are no surveillance cameras until we hit 25 Fairway Lane. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
So the truck, theoretically, for 36 minutes could have been parked, gone by from Pablo Hamlet here, right by Marsh Inlet, which is on the corner, right?
It is.
And parked anywhere along this area with no cameras to observe its whereabouts.
That's correct.
And I want to show you a photograph that Mr. Dreiser did not show you, but was actually marked and entered into evidence as Defense Exhibit 30. This is a photograph of the gravel parking lot at the Discovery School, which you testified to earlier. So if you were to come, shutter here, would you reach Pablo Hamlet?
Yes.
And if you were to leave Pablo Hamlet and turn back here, is this the parking lot of the Discovery School?
That's correct.
You testified earlier that you went to the Discovery School and they did not have any working surveillance cameras at the time of the homicide, correct?
That's correct.
And this residence right here, what residence is that?
1511 Marsh Inlet.
The home of Mr. Fernandez and Ms. Gardner?
That's correct.
I have no further questions. Thank you, Corporal.
I have a brief recross
New ground? New grounds?
from the grounds that she just covered.
Okay.
Corporal, it's Wednesday at 6:58 to 7:12. That's the time period we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Then post that to the homicide gap, correct? That's the 36 minutes that she just asked you about.
Correct.
That's a school, correct?
Yes.
Who told you that there was a truck parked in that gravel parking lot that matched the description of the truck you're looking for? The answer is no one. No one told you there was a blue truck there, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Nobody told you there was a blue truck matching the description of the truck that you've been testifying to at the Paddle Creek Observatory, correct?
That's also correct.
And nobody told you that along the whole roadway where the golf course is and the nice little wooden fence that makes up, what is that, 15th?
15th, that's correct.
Nobody told you there was a blue truck parked there that matched the description of the truck that was blasted all over the news that everybody was looking for, did they?
That's correct.
No further questions.
Anything further for the witness?
No, Your Honor. He can be excused.
All right, thank you, Corporal.
Thank you.
Members of the jury, it's 10 minutes to noon. We'll go ahead and take our lunch recess at this time. If you would leave your notepads on your chair, retire to the jury room, and we'll set up your lunch, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, lights on, try to wait, what's the mood tonight? Sweet pea in the room, yeah, you know the vibe, right? Quick wit, sharp mind, cutting through the noise. Got the whole room laughing when she drops her voice. Eyes on the screen, yeah, she reads the whole room. From jokes to facts, she's ahead of the boom. Not just talk, yeah, she bringing receipts. When Sweet Pea speaks, everybody hits repeat. She don't just show up, she sets a tone. One line from her in the chest, blown. Smart, funny, fearless, yeah, that's the code. Main character, her energy fully in mode. Sweet Pea, say it louder when she enters the scene. Sweet Pea, got the jokes, got the facts, got the mean. Click, hey, hey. When she talks, everybody leans in. Sweet Pea, yeah, you know she always wins. One line of queen, yeah, she never miss. Turn a quiet room into a viral clip. Brains and humor in a perfect blend. When Sweet Pea starts talking, that's the trend. Say it again, who runs the check? Yeah. Sweet Pea, yeah, that's that. Sweet Pea, say it louder when she enters the scene. Sweet Pea, got the jokes, got the facts, got the mean. When she talks, everybody leans in. Sweet Pea, yeah, you know she always wins.
So as I kind of figured they would be going to lunch around 12 o'clock, which is perfect timing. Our Tupac trial is supposed to begin at 9 o'clock a.m. I do already have it set up for a redirect to take us over there as soon as I end this stream. If you are following along with our Tupac murder trial, I would love to see you over there. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll hang out in there for majority of the day, and then we'll check back in with Mario Fernandez after our testimony is complete. As you arrive in, don't forget to hit the like button. I gotta figure out, like, I just deleted like all this stuff on my thing and don't know how I deleted it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything up here. So I gotta figure that out. I don't like sitting back here confused now. But guys, I will see you guys over there. I am hoping that I have everything. Oh yeah, I see my Tupac thing. Okay, look, I'm like, I gotta make sure I got my stuff. All right, guys, I will see y'all over in the Tupac room. We'll get back with Mario later on. We'll watch it at 1.25, get it done. Call it a day. All right, guys, see you in a minute.